welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I've been doing a lot of videos lately that have been focused on me just sitting there waffling away and using you as my source of therapy, but I'm also here on YouTube to share my love of yoga. So this week we're going to be sharing a breakdown of Sun Salutation or Surya Namaskar A. So what I teach mainly is a vinyasa based style in my classes, and for a lot of people they come to vinyasa classes and they can be quite fast paced, and often the beginning of a vinyasa style class, or they'll often incorporate a Sun Salutation or a Surya Namaskar throughout the sequence, and it can be really difficult when it's such a common denominator in all of the classes, but it's a sequence that includes quite a lot of intricate and strong yoga poses. So we're just going to take it really slow today. I'm going to break each pose down, and I'm going to give you the English and Sanskrit for each of the poses, and we're just going to try and get a little bit more comfortable. Sun salutations can be a really amazing way to start your day, even if you're not doing a full yoga flow. They cultivate a sense of connection with your body, your breath. They encourage you to get that rhythm in your breath, that depth in your breath. And by beginning your day with them, maybe every day, you also strengthen that sense of having a healthy habit or a ritual every day, especially starting your day with something for yourself. Just some alone time with your body and your breath can have a major impact on your day. So this video is going to be really slow and break those Sun Salutations down. I also will have another video that will include 5 Sun Salutations, just so that you can get them. Once you strengthen the individual poses, you can go on to that video, take a step up and start your day with a Sun Salutation, or even finish your day with a Sun Salutation. So we're going to get started at the front of our mat in Tadasana or mountain pose. So come to standing, and you'll set up your feet about hip width distance at the front of your mat. So this just looks like we're just hanging out on our feet like we do all day, every day. And I'm sure you're thinking I didn't come to yoga to stand like I do all day. So I just want to make you feel a little bit more aware of your Tadasana pose. So this is a pose, mountain pose in yoga, and there's a lot actually going on here. So we're not just allowing our body to hang like we usually do or collapse down into the mat. We're really trying to find that sense of length and strength through our entire body. So it's a great way just to start that sense of focus. So we're going to scan our body from our feet. So I'd like you to just lift all 10 toes away from the mat, spread the toes wide and ground them back down. I want you to feel into the big toe mound, baby toe mound, and outer inner edges of your feet. You're going to lift up through the arches of your feet and really feel that space, that sense of space between the arches of the feet and the mat, so that space is going to cultivate a little bit of engagement through your inner thighs. Then notice your kneecaps. Can you lift your kneecaps by engaging your quadriceps, the front of your thighs? And then engaging slightly through your belly. So you're going to feel, instead of allowing your hip bones to collapse down and back, you're going to try and push the hips slightly forward and lift them up. That's going to naturally lengthen your lower back. So there's a slight tuck of the tailbone here. Again, that lift up and in through the lower belly. So it's like you're zipping up from your puke bone to your belly button and shortening that distance rather than lengthening that distance. And then from there, you'll notice your rib cage has softened down. And I'd like you to find a slight lift through the chest so that the shoulders squeeze slightly back and down. Find that length from your tailbone all the way up through the back of your neck. It's like you're holding an apple underneath your chin. So a lot of the time, this is the position we actually want to maintain throughout our practice. The neck in line with the upper spine. Allow your hands to splay out wide, so fingers energetic, palms wide and palms face forward. Just take a moment to sway forward and back. So feeling away weight of your body shift from heels into the toes. It'll be a tiny micro sway. So here in our Tadasana, we created a sense of awareness from the soles of our feet to the crown of our head, and that's what we want to remain with throughout our practice today. So from here, what we're going to do is you're going to inhale, bring the arms all the way out wide, circle them all the way up, and keep that lengthening down the tailbone as you lift your gaze toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, we're going to slowly fold forward and down. So take a little bend in your knees and keep that extension forward through the chest. Chest forward, forward, forward. Weight in your toes. Really slowly bend into your knees, and eventually you'll circle the fingertips all the way down to the mat. So you'll see here, a lot of people end up looking at their neighbor who has very flexible hamstrings, who maybe practices yoga every day, and they have straight legs, and then you want to mirror that, so you straighten your legs, and you end up with this round back. So instead of that, notice what happens when I bend into my knees. I'm able to lift my bum toward the sky, and get that belly to thigh contact. So that's what you want in a forward fold. You want this hinging sensation from your hip creases rather than from your waist, okay? So just allowing the head to hang heavy a little bit here. So this is Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Again, weight is equally through the toe mounds of your feet and the heels. And then we're going to come to Ardha Uttanasana, which has a flat back, a halfway lift. So you're going to bring your hands to your shins, and you're going to extend your chest forward. No need to straighten the legs unless you're really comfortable with straight legs and keeping that length in your spine. So you'll see here my sit bones extend back and my chest extends forward. Now, some people will start to look forward again. You'll see now my neck is not in line with my spine. So try to keep the gaze just slightly forward past the front edge of your mat. Suck your lower belly up and in toward the spine. If this is too much with hands to shins, you can always bring your hands to your thighs. And then from there, you inhale, lengthen, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, Uttanasana again, folding forward and down. So from here, you're going to plant into your hands. I want you to spread your fingers wide. Again, bend your knees as much as you need. It's either your index finger or middle finger pointing forward. And then from here, we're going to step into plank. So I'd like you to step both feet to the back of your mat. Now for some of us, this already will be way too much, which is totally normal, okay? So drop your knees if you need to modify. So some of us will stay with the knees dropped. You can even do one knee dropped, one leg lifted, and you can alternate through that. So you'll see here that my shoulders are stacked directly over my wrists. The soft part of my elbow, or the elbow crease, is spinning forward. So you'll notice the triceps want to go back, biceps forward. And try not to just soften into your hands, they're your base. So spread the hands wide, push down through the knuckles. Feel free to keep one knee down or one leg or both knees down. And then maybe you want to lift both legs. If you're lifting both legs, you want to really engage your thighs. So try not to soften into the knees or the thighs. Imagine the backs of your knees trying to lift toward the ceiling. So a common mistake people make here is that they allow their chest to dip, the shoulders to hug each other, and they allow their hips to sink slightly. So you'll see here, I'm almost arching into my spine. I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my shoulders and my lower back. So notice the difference between here and here. So it's almost like I'm rounding through my spine. Again, I'm lifting everything toward the ceiling. I'm actually lifting and pushing the mat away to lift my body away from the mat. So your heels can be extending that. That's going to help you activate the legs. Again, when you need breaks, you can drop one knee, but keep your pubic bone hugging toward your navel. So keeping that space between pubic bone and the belly button shortening, like we did in our Tadasana, our mountain pose, or standing. And again, the gaze is just past the front edge of your mat. So we're not craning the neck to look forward. Okay, so from here we're going to work on Chaturanga. So Chaturanga is as we lower to the belly. So I want you to, if you are not lowering with your knees lifted, that's fine. You can do Chaturanga with knees dropped. you're gonna hug your elbows in. So it's still soft edge of your elbow forward, and you're gonna hug your side body or your rib cage with your elbows. Chest forward, gaze just past the front of your edge of your mat, and holding it here. So if the knees are dropped, that's fine. You lower down until the elbow is just hugging the side of your body. Shoulders away from ears, chest forward. I'm not dipping into the lower back. You'll see the way my bum is lifted. You want to lower, lengthen through the lower back. So I'm just going to push back up to do that with my knees lifted so that you can see both variations. So you're either lowering down like the plank from your knees or from the balls of your feet. From the balls of your feet, come slightly forward onto the tips of your toes. Okay, so you'll see there I come from reaching the heels back to slightly leaning forward. My arms stay fully straight, shoulders just past the wrists, gaze just past the edge of my mat. I keep that rounding through the spine or through the upper back, and then slowly lower elbows to my ribs. And then from here, we'll all lower to the belly. So you'll see there Chaturanga is not with the elbows coming back, okay, behind your wrists. You want the elbows forward, over the wrists, chest forward, creating that 90-degree angle with elbows and upper arms. So we've all lowered down to the belly from our plank pose, and we're going to point the toes from here. So you'll see, even though I've pointed my toes and it looks like I'm just lying on my belly, there's also a lot going on here. So as we prepare for our Cobra Pose, we really want to find the length through our lower back. So a lot of people just push into the hands, and you'll see here, my ankles are spreading out, I'm not engaging my legs. They push into straight arms, and I'm really just dumping a lot of the weight into my lower back and supporting myself with my shoulders or my traps. Shrugging the shoulders toward the ears. This is not what we want, okay? I'm also not engaging my hands here. So we're going to come back down to the mat. We're going to bring our feet hip-width distance, and you'll notice the way my toes point back. Now the toenails are pushing down, and my kneecaps are lifted, so the front of my thighs are active. Then I want you to think about your pubic bone. Push your pubic bone slightly down, and lengthen your tailbone, the lowest part of your spine, toward your heels. So instead of the bum soft and slightly lifted, you're pushing the bum down and engaging the glutes. Now your core, your navel, up and in. So core is slightly active. And then your hands, your middle fingers are just in line with the front of the shoulders. They can also be slightly back if you want. And you'll see here my elbows aren't splayed out. The elbows hug in by my side body. And you continue that hugging in and back sensation through the elbows. So softly, elbows back, begin to lift up, a slight push down through the hands, but really I'm using my core, my upper back, and my legs. You'll see the way my elbows stay bent, my shoulders aren't by my ears, shoulders down, away from the ears, hugging together, draw your navel up in towards your spine, push down through the tops of your feet, and slowly lower back down. So you'll always inhale into your Cobra, so we'll do that again. Inhale, shoulders away from ears, elbows back, point the toes, exhale, release back down. And then from there, we'll push to our knees. So like the plank, keep your tailbone tucking, push to the knees, and then from there, we're gonna lift to downward facing dog. So from our downward facing dog wants to have our hands shoulder width, just like in our plank, fingers spread wide, and again, your middle finger or index finger points forward. Try not to allow the fingers of your hands to pull away or lift away from your mat. You want to keep the knuckles, fingertips, grounding into the mat, especially that space between your index finger and your thumb. That's going to root down into the mat, and that's going to bring weight out of, or pressure out of your wrist. So you'll notice when I bring the fingers away from the mat and soften my hands, all of the weight when I lift up is going to be in the heel of your hand, your wrist, and that's where that pain in the wrist will come from. So spread the fingers, push down through index finger and thumb, straight arms, again like your plank, soft elbow or soft area of your elbow forward, the bend of the elbow forward, and then slowly tuck your toes. Keep your knees bent here, okay? And push your heart back towards your thighs, look back towards your feet. Again, just like in a forward fold, the make here is they look at their neighbor and they see these long straight legs, and they want to do exactly the same thing because they think whatever anyone else is doing is right and whatever they're doing is wrong. There's no right or wrong. There's simply what's right for you. Okay, so what you want to do here, rather than straighten your legs and round into your spine, you want to lengthen your back, push your heart back towards your thighs, lift your sit bones, and if that means you need to bend your knees, bend the knees. Bend the knees as much as you need. You could even get the belly onto the thighs if that's what felt good for you. So you'll see here the way my arms are in line with my ears. The back of my neck is soft, so I'm not looking down at the mat, I'm not looking forward. I'm allowing the back of the neck to soften. My arms are really active, so I'm pushing down into the hands. I'm wrapping my triceps in toward each other so that soft part of the elbow wraps forward. And that means I have space between the shoulders. I push my hips up and back. And eventually you can allow the heels to soften to the mat. Your feet are about hip width, which is only about 2 fists between your feet. Slowly from here, we're going to walk our feet to the front of your mat. One foot in front of the other. You might need to bend into the knees in order to do that. Setting up your feet about hip width distance. Your Ardha Uttanasana, your halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs. Inhale, stretch your chest forward, shoulders away from your ears, broad across collarbones. Exhale, hinge and fold, keeping that little bend in your knees, Uttanasana. Inhale, float all the way up, arms out wide, keep the bend in your knees, and eventually when shoulders are stacked over the hips, when arms are overhead, you can straighten into the legs and then bring the hands to prayer at the heart. Okay, so we're going to move through that a tiny bit faster without so many breakdowns of all of the engagements, but I'll still cue all of the necessary alignments, okay? So, feet hip width at the front of your mat, Tadasana, arms by your side body, palms face forward, lift your lower belly up and in, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, arms lift all the way up, you can gaze up if that's comfortable for the neck. Exhale, arms out wide, palms down, bend your knees as you fold all the way forward and down. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Belly in, exhale, plant the hands, spread the fingers wide, step back into plank. Inhale in your plank, chest forward, strong arms. Feel free to drop your knees as you lower through Chaturanga, elbows by your ribs to the belly. Point your toes, inhale Cobra, engage your legs, use the muscles of your spine or your back, elbows in, elbows down. Exhale, release, push into the hands to come to the knees, tuck your toes and lift into your downward facing dog. Feet hip width, knuckles grounding, fingers spread wide, navel, lower belly up and in. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. And slowly begin to walk your feet all the way to the front of your mat. Really nice. Set up your feet hip width. Inhale, hands to shins, chest forward. Exhale, fold over the thighs for Uttanasana, getting that lower belly to upper thigh. Keep the knees bent as you come to standing. Inhale, arms out wide, arms lift up. And exhale, hands release to prayer at the heart. Well done. Okay, I'm going to introduce an upward facing dog instead of a cobra. Okay, so if you want to continue your cobra, if that's challenging enough for you, you stay exactly there. That's obviously what is right for you. So if you want to modify and strengthen up a little bit to the next level, then just take a look when we come into upward dog or cobra. Feet hip width distance. Inhale, arms lift, palms up. Maybe lifting your gaze but keeping the lower belly up and in. Exhale, palms down, arms wide, chest forward. Weight forward in the toes as you slowly fold, keeping the knees slightly bent. Inhale, either hands to shins or thighs. Chest forward, flat back, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, plant the palms, active hands, step back into plank. Okay, so from here, inhale in your plank. Keep the knees dropped or lifted. Exhale, lower to the belly. And then from there, you're going to slide the hands slightly back for up dog. Point your toes. This time with up dog, you straighten into the arms and the thighs lift. So push into the hands. Engage your core, engage your thighs. Slight micro bend in the elbows. Shoulders away from ears. Thighs lifted, thighs contracted. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Now, if you tried it and you were a little bit eager, and it felt like way too much, good news. You can just come back to Cobra, okay? It's just as strong a pose. It's just as important. So listen to your body and give it what it needs. Okay, so again, feel free to keep that nice bend in your knees in down dog, engaging through the core, allowing the chest to extend back without arching into your back. Slowly walk the feet to the front of your mat. Keep the bend in your knees, feet hip width, hands to shins. Inhale, chest forward. Core supporting your lower back. Exhale, fold. Keep the little bend in your knees as you float to standing. So root down through the feet. Come up all the way, hands overhead. Lengthen your lower back, navel up and in, and then hands to prayer. So we're going to do that for one last time. Feet hip width, and your choice whether you want to come to Cobra or upward facing dog. I'm going to demonstrate not coming to the belly this time and coming straight from Chaturanga to upward facing dog. If you're nowhere near there, again, leave it out. Inhale, arms lift all the way out and up. Keep the tailbone lengthening down, a slight squeeze through the glutes. Exhale, fold forward, chest forward, weight forward in the toes. Keep the bend in the knees. Belly to thighs, fold down. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, chest forward, arms straighten, lower belly in, plant the palms, step to plank. Taking your vinyasa or watching if you want to, come to Chaturanga. Inhale, plank, shift forward to the toes. Exhale, elbows to ribs, chest forward, flip to the right foot, left foot, and straighten into the arms, keeping that micro bend, legs strong, chest up, downward facing dog. Really nice. Feet hip width distance. Wrap your triceps in, broaden across your upper back. Feel the lower belly lifting up and in. And then slowly we'll walk the feet to the front of our mat. Okay, feet hip width, hands to shins, chest forward. Maybe that micro bend in the knees, lengthen through the back of the neck. Exhale, fold over the thighs, belly to thighs. Float to standing. Soft bend in the knees, arms wide, chest up, lift up, lengthen strong legs, hands release to prayer at the heart. Okay, well done everyone. So that was my introduction to our Surya Namaskar A or Sun Salutations A. I'm really hoping that that has broken down the poses for you and that you have a little bit of a better understanding of each pose, when you're meant to breathe, when you're meant to inhale and exhale. It's so much to take in. And these poses aren't easy, okay? So when a teacher says to you, come to down dog if you want to take a rest, and you're in your head thinking, holy crap, that feels like torture to me. Why is she saying it should feel like a rest? There is no should in yoga, okay? So there's no way that you should feel a certain way in a pose. Everyone is at a different level and has a different background in their level of movement, in their body awareness, and in their strength. Your yoga practice will depend on how much you practice, okay? So try not to worry too much on what you should and shouldn't feel, and just try to get the alignment right. Check in with this video, break the poses down, and most importantly, breathe, okay? So that's a really hard thing to do, to incorporate the breath into these movements. Eventually it will feel a little bit easier once the physical part of the pose sits a little easier in your mind and in your body. The breath will naturally come, so try not to stress. That's going to make it a lot harder. Anyway, so I hope this Sun Salutation breakdown was informative and helpful for you. I'm going to post as well just a smooth video of our Sun Salutation A, so that you can maybe start your day with it once you have it a little bit more familiar in your body and mind. So namaste and well done for coming to your mat today.